Okay, so we have an idea, hopefully, of what your tasks will be for each week, but let's talk about the semester-long tasks, the big things here. There will be an online midterm during week 4. What we'll do is we'll get a time that we can all do it, and I will email you a set of questions, and then within a certain period of time, say an hour or so, I'll tell you exactly, you'll email me back answers. So we'll do the online testing that way. I'll send out the questions by email. You will send them back to me within a specific time. The midterm will be brief, and the answers that you'll be given will be in short essay form. That is, what I'm really looking for in the midterm is that you have some reading knowledge of the text, that you know the basics of what's going on in the text, and that you've shown that ability. At the end of the semester, there will be a final exam, which will be much more extensive in terms of what kind of responses I'll be requiring. This will be a true essay exam where you have to write impromptu essays in response, again, to questions that I email you, and you'll have a longer time to do them, and then you'll have to email them back to me. Now, this final exam will range over everything we've read, so it will talk about Plato, it will ask questions about Kierkegaard and Sartre, and it will do a lot of comparison between the thinkers, asking you to express your thoughts about their relation and stuff like that. So the final exam, I'm not going to give you a length requirement, but they should be longer and more fully developed than what will be required for the midterm exam. Okay, so basically impromptu essays long enough for you to develop thought, okay, which means, little essays. Finally, you will have a final essay, an at-home essay that you will have to write, let's say of about 5 to 6 pages, and the only requirement there is that in some sense or another it assess and compare Kierkegaard, Plato, and Sartre in some way. I want it to be a comprehensive essay in which you compare and contrast and express your thoughts and critically evaluate all 3 thinkers, and that'll be due at the very end of the semester. Now, if you look at how grades will be determined, 1/3 of your grade will be determined by your performance on the weekly tasks, the study questions, the free write, your participation in the Limbus session, etc. So I'm not grading those things as we go on. Most of it is just doing it on time and putting effort into it, so that that component of your grade really depends upon you doing the work on time and doing it seriously, putting a good effort into it. If you're just sort of like fulfilling the requirement but not really doing anything, your grade will suffer there. So I'm looking for effort, and I'm looking for involvement. Your midterm and final exams together will count as the second third of your grade, and your final essay will count as a third of your grade. I did put a note here about plagiarism. Plagiarism is something that happens in every class, unfortunately, or most classes. But it is especially, I think, a problem in online classes because we're at a computer, and it's easy to cut and paste things that we find. So I just want to say, plagiarism is when you present someone else's work as your own. Okay, that's what plagiarism is. And plagiarism is the worst thing you can do as a student, as far as I'm concerned, and it means you fail the class, and it means you get reported to the university. So there's really no reason at all to plagiarize. And what do I mean by plagiarizing? I mean copying other people's work, putting it in your paper or your study question answers or your exam answers, and without showing where it came from, putting quotation marks around it. So don't do that. And if you don't do that, and if you try hard in the course, there's just no way you're going to fail. The only way you're going to fail this course is if you don't do the work or if you plagiarize. Honestly, that's the only way. And people have failed. A number of people have failed online courses with me simply because either they didn't do any work, which is, what else is going to happen, or they repeatedly plagiarized. So just don't do that. Work hard. You'll be fine. If you look at the class schedule, it's pretty self-explanatory. It tells you, hopefully, exactly what you have to read, material for each week. And you'll see week 8, after we read Sartre, there are no assignments. Week 8 is your time to write your final essay, study for the final exam, and get ready for those things. Now, the exact due date of the final essay and the exact time of the final exam will be determined towards the end of the semester, but it will be, let's see, I don't know the exact end date, something like July 23rd or something, in that region, but we'll definitely nail that down. So again, if you have any questions at all, please contact me by email. You can call me if you want. And I really enjoyed, I'm pretty much done at this point, except for week 7, doing the video lectures. Had a good time. This material, obviously, as you'll see, means a lot to me, and I hope that as a teacher, at the very least, what I'm able to do is to communicate to you how great I think these works are and how they can help us sort of figure out life. So let's get started.